Good evening, everyone. We will call the meeting to order. We do have a quorum. And Dr. Welly, will you lead us in the pledge? At this time, I'd entertain a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
So moved.
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Recognitions. First, we have the speech and debate state qualifiers.
Yeah, come on up. So tonight we have Miss Julian Humke and speech and debate state qualifiers. So we will give them the floor.
If you sit here? Yep, sure. I don't need a mic, but. Oh, I do need a mic. Okay,
Yep,
I've been
yep,
told. Come over here, Tristan. So, as stated, my name is Jillian Humke. I am the head coach at the high school for the speech and debate team. This is Tristan Arnold. And so first, I'm going to talk about how we did at the Misha District Tournament, the Misha State Tournament, and we just got back from nationals this past weekend. So I'm going to tell you guys about that. So first, at districts, we qualified 8 entries to the state tournament. Tristan here qualified in duo interpretation with his partner Brooklyn Hedrick, who also qualified in prose interpretation. Then Chanel Reynolds qualified in dramatic interpretation, prose interpretation, and original oratory. And then Dylan Rosinski qualified in humorous interpretation, dramatic interpretation, and storytelling. So lots of really great entries there. At the state tournament, we had 5 entries in the finals. Chanel Reynolds placed 7th in prose and 5th in original oratory. And then Dylan Rosinski placed 7th in dramatic interpretation, 3rd in humorous interpretation, and is a state champion in storytelling, which I believe hasn't happened in Green Valley's history in a very long time. So that's really awesome. Coming back from nationals, we also had a very successful trip. Dylan Rosinski placed 8th in the nation in humorous interpretation, which is a very strong feat. Thank you. And then Dylan Rosinski also qualified to nationals by placing 1st in the district tournament for 2 years in a row. So he's a pretty stellar kid. He can't be here because he's at Boys State. Tristan Arnold here, he came with us in storytelling, first time ever competing in the event, placed top 30 in the nation out of 480 entries. So we had a really good season for the Green Valley Speech and Debate team. Thank you for letting us talk about all of the things that we have accomplished, and I really appreciate your guys' time.
Can I take a picture of both of you out
Yeah.
there? Is that okay?
Yeah,
Perfect. Thank you.
Next, we'll bring up Amanda Chrisman and the Special Olympics state qualifiers. So if all of the students want to come up too, that'd be great.
Just a second. Oh. Mom's got the paper. You can hold it.
Good evening, everybody. I am Amanda Chrisman, and I also have our other coaches with us tonight that have worked so hard and graciously been a part of ours. Where's Coach Cat? Get up here. You guys all have to be up there too. So we had the pleasure of taking athletes to 3 different state competitions this year, and they all did really well. Some of them went to 1 or 2 or all 3, and so we just would like the opportunity to recognize each of them tonight for all their hard accomplishments this year. And then in 2 weeks, we're going to start a brand new sport in our organization, flag football, so be on the lookout for our next adventure. So guys, if you would just raise your hand or step forward so they know who you are, okay? Jonah Ayers competed at state level for bowling, basketball, and track and field. We have Jackson Heath, who was for bowling this year. Good job, Jackson. He couldn't be here tonight, but Josh Hingle for all 3. Mr. Cohen James for bowling, basketball, and track and field. We have Braden Lampert for bowling and basketball, not able to be here. We have Taylor McGraw for track and field. Good job, Taylor. Caleb Miller for bowling and track and field. He's at work tonight. Natalie and Ava Moeller, they're both not able to be here, but for basketball, Mom's here to cheer them on anyway. Thank you. We have DJ Odell, not able to be here, but track and field. Grant Searcy, bowling, excuse me. And then we have Corbin for track and field. We have Mr. Talon Williams for bowling. We have Mr. Kaleho Van Dyne for basketball. And then we also have a unified partner, Kavika Van Dyne, and he did basketball with us. We keep working towards more and more inclusion, and so we want to keep growing our unified teams so that we have all kinds of kiddos working with us. You can see Kaleo loves his cousin working with us. So thank you, Kavika, for joining us. Avery Stevens was basketball and track and field. And last but not least, Max Williamson for basketball and track and field. Thank you guys so much for your hard work.
So this is the point where we invite anyone that doesn't want to stay for the rest of the meeting to go ahead and take off, and we'll just pause for a few minutes and let folks leave. You're welcome to stay, but if you want to go, now's your chance. Okay, now is the point on the agenda where we invite patrons to comment, and looks like we've lost the good majority of the group, so. Okay. the reports, superintendent's report.
Couple of highlights for you off of our report this month. We are really pleased and proud to announce that we ended the school year with 91.1% proportional attendance. It's a huge milestone. This is a significant and challenging goal that we've been working towards. I will say that we don't know how many districts made it this year, but a year ago there were 90 out of 500 districts that met this goal. So we are pleased to be among their ranks this year. And also just wanted to let you know that we have earthwork that is underway behind North Middle School on the new middle school athletics facility. And we've got, that's the biggest project where people can visibly see that things are happening. I will say that over at Matthews, utility crews are in the process, and maybe it's done by today, moving the utility poles and the power lines that used to go pretty close to the west side of the building. They moved out around along the road to make room for new construction. So lots going on. Also, calendar of events for the board. There's a couple of important additions that were made to your calendar this month. August 10th is our new teacher welcome at 8 o'clock. And if you're available, you're welcome to come be part of the meet and greet there at 8 a.m. on August 10th. And also, Dr. Allen and the crew will be launching the school year at a convocation ceremony on August 21st at 8 a.m. So I want to make sure that you had those for your calendar.
Thank you. Any questions regarding the superintendent's report? No. You guys, any questions? Are you good? Okay, takes us to unfinished business. Approve the 2026-2027 budget. I would entertain a motion to approve the 26-27 budget as presented.
So moved?
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Discussion.
We don't have any significant changes since the presentation 3 weeks ago, but we are joined by Mr. Aaron Hooper tonight, and we happily entertain any questions that you have about the budget.
I feel like we've beat this up pretty well. None of us are thrilled with it. We all understand it though, right? So I don't have any other comments unless any of you do.
No, we're good.
Okay. So we have a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Any opposed? No. New business.
So under new business, instead of looking ahead, we're gonna look back one more time. We have fund transfer to close out the 25-26 school year. And as we suggested at the workshop 3 weeks ago, we're recommending a $700,000 transfer. It's not as much as we would qualify to transfer, but the goal is that with a $700,000 transfer to Fund 4 this year, it helps secure the likelihood that we'll still have a operational reserve balance of at least 20% a year from now. So it does cover our Fund 4 expenses this year minus the purchase of school buses. So we feel really good that it is more than adequate of a transfer for us for this year.
So I think you jumped right into that, and we
I'm
didn't
sorry, I guess
motion or, so.
I went right into
Yeah,
it.
that's okay. I would entertain a motion to approve the 25-26 fund transfer as presented.
Second?
Got a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Motion carries. The budget amendment for 25-26. I'd entertain a motion to approve the budget amendment as presented.
So moved?
Okay. Is it a race? Okay. Got a motion and a second. That moves us to discussion.
Yeah, pretty straightforward. The most significant change is under expenditures. We're amending the budget to reflect bond project expenses of $1.5 million. Most of that is for the 2026 bond, and it is consistent with the pre-authorization or the intent resolution that you passed, I believe in March, for us to expend up to $1 million for prep work. So,
Any questions or additional discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. The next one is to authorize intent resolution for a school district to reimburse itself for certain capital expenditures. I would entertain a motion to approve the intent resolution for the district to reimburse itself with the proceeds of future general obligation bonds of the district for the purpose of funding the project not to exceed $1.5 million.
Second.
Motion and a second. Discussion. Jason, you look like you had a question. Yeah. Yeah, I know. You really want me to read it again? I will, like, okay.
This was from when we took basically a loan to start the design work and the pre-construction work that now we're paying ourselves back. Right, okay.
From the
That's-
bond, yeah,
Yep, just clarifying that, yep.
okay.
yeah, one of the things that's happened since then is, because we thought we would have the bonds issued by now, but investors have been a little funny this month because of world affairs, and so they're going to put out to bid as soon as Monday for our bonds. So we are with this motion, we are asking you to allow us to spend up to another $1.5 million on top of the first $1 million, so that we can continue to keep the work going until the bonds get sold, until it's closed out. So
Is there any estimated time frame from them, or?
once it goes to market, his preference is really for it to act right away. So if it was going to take longer than a few days to know where we stand, then he'll let us know, and we'll let you know right away. And it would be. I'm going to guess though at this point we're going to have to just go. He's just trying to give us the best possible deal. And if there's anything shaky that's got investors a little bit nervous on the day that we go to bid, then he feels like we're less competitive to get the interest rate we want, to get the deal that we want. But at this point now, a couple weeks later, I mean, he's probably a little more willing to make some smaller sacrifices. He's just trying to get the best deal possible for us.
Thank you.
So, but the work is underway aggressively. We'd like to get that athletic facility done in time for next spring's track season, but there's very little wiggle room for us to meet that goal. Otherwise, what we advertised is that athletic facility would be ready in August, the start of the following school year. But man, if we could get it ready by March of the upcoming school year, that would be a real nice bonus.
None of this hinders any of the current stuff beginning or delaying anything or any of that, right?
No, but if we failed to borrow this 1.5 million against ourselves, we would have to put a stop to further. We wouldn't be able to pay for more work until the bonds sold. So I doubt we're going to need 1.5. We just don't want to come back a third time in the next couple of weeks to ask you for another $500,000 if we needed to get more than $1 million again.
Okay.
Any other questions? I do have a question about the project. It's not related to this specific item,
Sure.
so I'm not going to bring it up in open session, but I do have a question
Okay.
for you about just from driving up there and seeing it, just a question, so remind me
Yeah,
to
very
ask you
good.
that.
We'll hit that.
Okay, so we've got a motion and a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. The next item on the agenda is the school board calendar, meeting calendar for 26-27.
Yeah, Dr. Allen has presented a draft calendar for the board's consideration. It really, for the most part, it looks like it mirrors the calendar we had this year, so no action tonight. Presumably you'd bring it back next month to kind of lock it in for the year. We like to put these dates on the website ahead of time, so if somebody's curious, then the board has technically already approved all these meetings. And then if you need to change any, then we deal with changes along the way.
I had a question. I know that we're in control of our Sny Valley graduation, and that's on our list. Do we know the high school graduation date yet?
I believe we
Just
do
in-
tentatively. Dr. Allen, do you have that in front of you? Or can get it?
I believe it's May 24th, but let me get to that date and double check. I've got a graduate, I
seeing
should
that.
know.
Yeah, seeing that one made me think of the other one, and I was
Yes,
like, oh,
Monday, May 24th.
got it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So I think it might be good. Did you have a question? Go ahead, Jeff.
Sorry. The only thing that I don't know if we want to discuss or not is we had talked about potentially maybe moving that North Middle retirement around the district. And I don't know if we want to bring that up and talk about pros and cons about doing that, why we just do it at North Middle versus moving it around, because I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah, we like the venue. Year over year, the first time we moved it to North, people showed up at the wrong place. So we just kind of, wherever we're going to have it, we just like to lock it in for a few years in a row, just get everybody used to where they need to be on retirement reception. I do remember, though, that we talked about if we need to have retirement reception and a workshop on the same night, and that wouldn't have to be so. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think it was just between like a couple board members.
Oh,
We were
okay.
just talking like, it's always here. Is there a reason why it's always here? Is it, you know, in order to get some of the other schools, you know, visited and people in them? Is it worth talking about moving that event?
Improved turnout.
Yeah.
Just giving the district more of
More exposure.
there you go. That's
So
the
I,
word.
I think that in the past, the board office was up there. So it was really convenient because it was right next door.
Yeah.
But as far as like why we shouldn't, I don't have any
It can be anywhere we want it to
reason.
be.
Yeah.
I'm not lobbying either way. I was just asking
Yeah.
a question, and
Right.
it was just something that had been discussed, like between a couple of us.
I really like, personally, I really like the idea of board members getting in the different buildings, whether or not there's staff there or not, like us going and attending different things in different buildings. So I like the idea. I don't know if we, well, it's not an action item, and I don't think we'd even vote on it, but it's certainly something to consider moving.
Yeah, and I don't know that we have to land on anything tonight. I don't know if we just want, you know, administration to maybe come up with maybe some ideas or thoughts. I mean, and maybe we don't do it this year, maybe we do it, you know, the next go around, just throwing it out there because it was a discussion point.
Yeah, because we had just had conversation about that. So yeah, just, should we move it to other buildings? Can we showcase them as well with our facilities? And yeah, kind of why we had done what we done and if there's a benefit to changing anything.
Very good.
So you will have to forgive me if it's already on there, I don't remember, but I would really appreciate it if on every superintendent's report, we could have the graduation dates, those two, just kind of as a standing item on
Good
there.
idea.
So that would be super helpful. Any other input?
Those are big ones.
Okay. Next up, July 16th, school board meeting will begin at 5 PM. Any questions? Still here in this building?
Yep, still here. You'll have a special topic from 5 to 7. Then the normal, my understanding is that the normal business of the night would begin at 7 PM. So if we had, we don't anticipate recognitions at the July meeting. There's a program evaluation. We'll let the presenter of the program evaluation know that it would be a 7 o'clock start time estimated for that program eval, but otherwise you start at 5 instead of 6 that night.
Can you refresh memories? I'm sorry. It's been a day.
Dr. Allen, you want to take that one?
Sure. This is part of your superintendent search package that you all purchased. But John Downs is coming from MSBA to do a workshop with the board. It's really over governance, sort of how we're going to operate as a team. So that's from 5 to 7.
It's on a Thursday.
The agenda says the 15th of July on this agenda here.
Oh,
For whatever reason, my printed out one says it should be this Thursday, the 16th. I apologize.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I thought we put it on the regular night, yeah, 16th.
Yeah, I apologize. Yep, we have 2 different dates going here. I apologize. Thursday, the 16th.
I wouldn't have been here on Wednesday.
Okay, thanks for that correction. Any additional questions or comments there? Okay. So next is the policy BBA, School Board Powers and Duties. This policy is, looks like it's been completely rewritten. I think it was tabled from the last conversation. So I think that we've achieved everything else in record time. I think we want to probably spend some time on this because I know Jeff and I have had conversations. I've had conversations with others around this policy and the duties that it delegates, for lack of a better term. So I'm just going to open it up. This is just a discussion information item tonight. I want to open this up and have a good, robust conversation about this. We can talk specific names in executive session for open positions. Obviously, we can't do that here, but I don't want to talk about policy in the executive session. I want to make sure that that stays in this room. So I will stop there and let folks speak.
So I don't know, and Dr. Welly can correct me, but I don't think the way that this policy has been rewritten does any of the delegating anymore. Like, it's not one of the policies that now delegates duties.
it really just clarifies the role of the school board, consistent with MSIP 6. So I don't know, I mean, from my standpoint, when I read both how it used to read and what MSBA is recommending, it's a lot of semantics. I don't see that it fundamentally, to your point, changes
Right.
changes responsibilities. I think it just clarifies how it presents the responsibilities of the board.
I mean, I think as far as having a discussion about that overall topic, we can, but I don't think it necessarily plays to this policy any longer.
Okay. So then, I mean,
I think.
yeah, and depending on where you land with your discussion tonight, the only reason it's here tonight is because we tabled discussion on it
Correct.
prior to closed session the last time.
Correct.
But, and so as a matter of process, we bring it back for discussion tonight, and then technically, if there's no further revisions or discussion, it would appear in consent agenda at your July meeting. And then if somebody wanted to pull it for more discussion as an action item next month, that's how this would
Right.
And there might be other discussions then that continue.
Because I think to further that conversation, there's like a list of 6 policies that would need to be discussed.
Okay.
And I have them here, but somewhere.
Okay.
So, and I think I forwarded them as well, so that you would have them.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure if we want to discuss all of them or not, because they kind of all would have to be looked at as a whole, not just one at a time, I guess.
So since they are not listed on the agenda,
Right.
it's probably inappropriate to talk about them. So I think that we need to, if there are any specific issues with this policy, let's discuss those. In the next workshop, let's list out those policies and any specific concerns.
Yep.
And I think that in the next board workshop, one of the concerns was around employment practices of the district.
Correct.
And so I think we want to either, that's part of that policy discussion, and if it's not, then it needs to be listed out as a separate item. And I am happy
Yeah.
to discuss it. I just want to make sure
Yeah.
we're doing it in the legal fashion.
So that would be in August.
August is our next
Yeah.
workshop.
We don't have a workshop until then.
Yeah.
just making sure I'm gonna be here,
Yeah, that's the best next opportunity for us to do that.
and I won't be here.
You won't. Okay. I think it's important that you're there, so we can bump that to September. I want to have as
Yeah.
many of us here as possible. So,
August 6th is the workshop.
okay. So is everybody else here? And I don't know what the September date is, but,
Well, we just looked at it. I was just pulling it up here.
so,
I will be here for the workshop. Yes, I'll be here for the
okay. So that's going to be a meaty topic. We can deal with that in the workshop.
So September 3rd, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's
You-
probably the best
question.
bet, is to take it to September 3rd.
Okay. So let's get that listed, and then you good on that? Okay.
Do we want to,
Does-
do we just want to table this one along with it? I don't, like I say, I don't know that this policy here
So
necessarily, it's just when I had requested the original list, this one was one of them that was in it. That would have to do with those. So I don't know if we just want to table it until September 3rd.
we
just bring
can
them all together.
certainly do that, or we can put it in consent agenda. If it's on the agenda tonight, we can
Right.
discuss this tonight. If
Yeah.
you think that it needs to be discussed with those others, in conjunction with those others, we'll just table it. If not, let's just move this one along.
Does the, let's say, delayed discussion, does it affect the operations of the district if it was tabled until August or September workshop, or?
I don't see that it puts us out of compliance with anything or really changes
Okay.
how we're operating. You do also have the option of accepting the recommended language at your July meeting and then revisiting it with other policies again in September, and then making other revisions at that time if needed.
And I think that's an appropriate approach. We
And I'm
can-
okay with that.
I don't love the idea of approving a policy and then the next month changing it again, but
Yeah.
I think in this
I mean,
circumstance, it's okay.
Yeah, I don't see, I think it would end up ultimately going to MSBA and legal to tell us if anything did need to change based on the other policy stuff that we would just potentially change. So I think we're okay to go
Okay.
ahead and move this one forward.
Any objection to doing that? So this would be in the consent agenda
For
for
July.
July.
Very good.
I'm good with
Okay. Does anybody need to read, can I read this, or do we need to?
You can entertain. a motion.
Okay, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn and go into the executive session as authorized by the provisions of section 610.021, numbers 1, 3, 13 of the revised statutes of Missouri. Please don't make me read that again.
Second?
Motion and a second. All those in favor? Oh, no, we have to do roll call. Jason? Julie?
Yes.
I'm a yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, we're good. Thanks.